Hey team, okay, so I'm going to try something new here and I'm actually going to read chapter 2 from Inside Out on video. And the program that you guys are logged into right now is going to stop and ask you questions as we go. So you're going to work independently to listen and follow along in your tasks and answer the questions. If you miss something as the video is playing, you can rewind the tape and have a second listen. That's no big deal. But make sure you are listening to the whole video because the program's actually going to tell me who just skips right ahead to the question. So you don't want to get busted on that. Okay, so chapter 2, Inside Out. Chapter 2 starts on page 12. The first thing I want you to notice once you open up your text to page 12 is the different styles of fonts on the first page. So take a notice of that. So it starts, chapter 2. Dr. Cal Curtis Medical School Training Notes. Psychotic mental disorders such as schizophrenia affect the way people understand things and how they act in social settings. Sometimes these patients grasp what is happening around them, but most of the time they get very confused. They can be aware one moment and unaware the next. I wish I had one of those maple bars. If I were a robber, I'd take the money and the maple bars. Squish, 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 wish. Bet you wish you could squish a wish. Maybe I would if I knew what the hell that meant. Wastoid. I know what that means. But lucky for me, it's not dirtbag or rat. I hate when they show up. The kids with the guns make us all sit on the floor. The younger kid peeks out the door at all the cops and cop cars, then turns back to the older kid and says, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do? The cops are all over the place. They'll blow our heads off." The older kid interrupts. "They won't. Just relax. We got all these people in here with us. The cops don't want them to get hurt, so they won't do anything." He pauses a second, then says to all of us, "Just sit there and shut up and you won't get hurt." I want to stay quiet. I want to relax, but I can't help myself. "What's your names?" I ask. The older kid looks at me. "You don't want to know our names," he says. "Yes, I do," I say back. "Otherwise, I don't know what to call you." "Dang," says the younger gunman. "We had to pick a place with a retard in it." The older kid turns to the younger one and says, "Chill." The older kid turns to me again and says, "You can call me Frosty and him Stormy, okay?" "Wow," I say, really impressed. "Neat names. Are those your real names? What are your last names? Are you brothers? Wouldn't it be cool if your last name was Day? You know, like Frosty Day and Stormy Day?" There's a loud sound outside the building, out in front. It's more sirens from more police cars. The older kid, Frosty, ignores the new police sounds and looks at me funny. He asks, "What's wrong with you?" I say, "I'm not retarded." Stormy laughs and said, "Yeah, right." I say, "No, honest, I'm not. Actually, I'm pretty smart. Like, ask me anything about school subjects, like math or history. Ask me the number of any president." I wonder if the President of the United States is here right now. That's stupid again. He's out trying to protect the free world. By the way, what's so free about the free world? I mean, everything I see costs money. I say, "Come on, just pick any number of president between 1 and 43. Frosty doesn't think about it for very long. 17. He's looking at the door again. 17, I say. Andrew Johnson, 17th President of the United States of America, assumed office upon the assassination by John Wilkes Booth of the 16th President, Abraham Lincoln. Frosty interrupts me. "Okay, you're not a retard, but just shut up, okay? I've got to pay attention or someone could get hurt for real." There are more sounds of policemen yelling things to each other and running around outside. "Okay," I say. Frosty pauses for a few seconds and says to all of us, "We don't want to have to kill you, okay? We want to try to get out of this, so do what we say, when we say it, and just shut up." When Frosty says the thing about killing us, the little girl sitting with her mom starts to cry. She's really a cute little girl, a lot smaller than her mom. That's another stupid thing to say, isn't it? But that's what I notice. She's little and her mom is bigger. Anyway, the little girl is cute, but I think she's real scared. I remember being scared when I was little before I got sick. I don't get scared now. As the little girl's crying, her face is all scrunched up and her lips are quivering. Her hands are shaking too. Little hands with blue fingernail polish. Yep, she's scared. Stormy looks down at the little girl and says to her, "Hey!" When she looks up at him, he says, "We're not going to hurt you, I promise." The little girl smiles at him, and he smiles back at her. While I'm sitting here, shutting up, I'm thinking about not understanding things faster. I guess in a way I'm embarrassed about it, but I'm happy to still feel embarrassed. Dr. Kurt says a lot of people with my kind of brain don't have feelings at all. He says that would be worse. I guess if he says so, it must be true. One thing for sure, though, I got it bad enough the way I am now. I don't need worse. Stormy asks Frosty again, "How are we going to get out of this?" His voice is shaky. "I don't know," says Frosty. Stormy says, "But what about Mom? What about—" Frosty interrupts. "Just shut up a second, okay? Just chill." "But—" Stormy begins, but when he looks at Frosty, he stops talking. Suddenly, there are more loud sounds of cops outside yelling. Frosty and Stormy look out at each other but don't say anything. We're all so crowded together. But it's okay, because I'm sitting next to one of the old ladies who has on some perfume that smells really nice. "You smell nice," I say to her. She tries to smile at me, but her mouth can't quite make it. She has kind of a pink-purple hair and real wrinkly skin. I mean really wrinkly. I wonder if she's 100 years old. Stupid again. Hardly anybody's that old. So I ask her, "How old are you?" Stormy says to me, "Jeez, please, shut up." I forgot I wasn't supposed to talk. Or maybe I thought that just counted out in the other room near the maple bars. I guess it counts here too. "Whoops," I say. Frosty says, "It's okay. Just try and be quiet, all right?" I nod. Frosty kind of half smiles at me, but he can't get his mouth to make a smile any better than the old lady could a few seconds ago. I guess he's scared too. There's a lot more noise outside the coffee shop. Policemen yell things to each other and their sirens blare and people holler. There's the regular traffic sounds that I always notice when I'm waiting here for my mom. But now there's police radio sounds, running footsteps, and some beep, beep, beep sounds like when a truck is backing up. Wing wong, wong dong. I wonder if the feeling I'm feeling right now is fear. It's hard for me to know what feeling is appropriate with what's going on. I'm not appropriate sometimes. Sometimes I'm inappropriate. Wong wong, sing song, wastoid, wong wong. Suddenly I hear this clicking sound. Click, click, click. At first I'm not sure where it's coming from. When I look around, I see that it's Stormy's gun. Stormy is pulling the hammer on his gun, the thing you cock it with, back with his thumb, then easing it back down, over and over again. Every time he pulls it back, then eases it forward, it goes click. I look at the gun for a while, then up at Stormy's face. He's staring right at me. I've been on the other end of a gun before. I didn't like it much then. I still don't.